Well, I'm back in Yellowstone, and believe it or not, I'm back on the Grizzly Bear Trail. I came up to do some training hikes up here at higher altitudes, and also to do some hiking in some very, very scenic forest. So this trail is the trail where I ran into 3 grizzly bear on 3 different days. And so I have changed my tactics a little bit. I got a tip from a bear expert out of Montana who suggested that I pick up a horn, one of those air horns that they use at soccer games, and said that they're so loud they act as excellent deterrents towards bears. I'm also bringing a second can of bear spray with me today, and I've got my trusty police whistle. So I feel like I've got a pretty good group of tools to use to avoid any contact with bears. As I've said before, when I'm on the trail I make more noise than Times Square on New Year's Eve. Didn't seem to help me with that nose-to-nose bear encounter 3 weeks ago. But there have been some changes in the park since my last hike. And one of them is that they've gotten a lot of rain. In fact, I ran into a fellow yesterday who was leaving, and he told me he'd been up here a week. And he indicated that it had rained all or part of 7 days that he was up here. So the air has got a little bit more water vapor in it. The ground is still damp from all the rains, and maybe the bear have dispersed off the trail. Today's hike is going to be about 17 miles, and depending on how my legs feel, I could make it a 20-mile hike. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to keep an eye on these blisters, potential blisters. But I did this hike 3 weeks ago, and I got within a half a mile of the summit, and I ran out of time. So as you can see, it's kind of dark out. It's just about 7 a.m. In fact, it's actually 7:04. So I got on the trail about 7 o'clock this morning. I'm 2 hours earlier than I did last time. But I had gotten within about a half mile of the summit, and I just had to turn around because I ran out of time. So I'm starting 2 hours earlier today, and I should have plenty of time to get to the summit and get down and do some filming. So this is an absolutely beautiful hike, taking us right into the Gallatin Mountains, and I should be able to get some gorgeous vistas. The smoke hasn't been too bad, at least not yesterday. There was a lot of water vapor in the air yesterday, but the smoke hasn't been too bad, so I'm hoping that it'll be a beautiful day for a hike. So we've got a beautiful view of the Gallatin Mountains this morning. The sun's just come up. If you look straight ahead in the center of the picture, the hike that I'm taking is out to that distant peak, and I'll be going up the left side of that peak. And somewhere up there is a summit that looks down into the Gallatin Valley. Just past 4 elk came down to this stream next to me, Indian Creek, to water. But this is the area that I'm going to be hiking into today. It's kind of interesting. When I was up here 3 weeks ago, there was a huge snowfield on the south-facing side of that mountain. It's completely gone now. So I guess the sun has melted that. But if you can make it out on this particular mountain right here, there's still some snowfields left. So I've come to my first water crossing. So I've got a hip bone here of an elk on the side of the water. I'm at my first water crossing, and These things were kind of time consuming when I did them, when I hiked this trail before. It would take between 10 and 15 minutes for me to make the crossing because, you have to take your hiking shoes off and then take, this is a beautiful stream that I've been fishing. You have to take your hiking shoe. Wow, this water is frigidly cold. Yikes. But you have to take your hiking boots off, take your socks off, put your wading shoes socks on, then put your wading shoes on, then hike across, take the shoes off, take the socks off, wait for your feet to dry, etc. But, oh my goodness, this water is so cold. I can't believe it. It's like ice cubes. Anyway, I've got a new system I'm using now. I brought a pair. Oh my God, this water is so cold. It's like I've got knives in my feet. Anyway, what was I saying? So I've got these reef walkers that I use without socks, and I'm hoping that to cut down the time it takes to do this crossing to about 5 minutes. Because again, with 4 water crossings, if it takes me 15 minutes, I'm losing close to an hour. So hopefully this will be a little bit quicker. No bears so far this morning. I'm just hiking out of this little bit of this marshy area. And I'll take these reef walkers off and get back into my hiking shoes. I brought a towel with me too to wipe off my feet, so I don't have to wait for my feet to dry. I'm going to wait till I get up to this sagebrush area here. I'll be out of the marsh, and then I can proceed with my hike. I have another crossing in about 1.5 miles on Panther Creek, and then that will be the last crossing of the hike. So I thought I would do a 360 here and give you an idea of how far out in the middle of nowhere I am. I hope the sun doesn't bleach out that section. This way is looking east. It's still early in the morning. Again, a beautiful view of the Gallatin Mountains here. But the reality that I've learned in 71 years is that you have to face your fears. If you don't face them, they rule you. In my life, I've only known a couple of people that I would call fearless. One was my friend Jack. I don't know if that's going to work. The sun is in a tough position here. One was my friend Jack. He was a New York City firefighter, and he was a 9/11 medical casualty. In fact, if I ever get this channel monetized, the plan is to direct all the money that the channel makes into the scholarship fund that's been started in his name. Yeah, this is a morning of kind of facing the heebie-jeebies. There's a woman who pulled into the site next to me. She's actually going to report me missing if I'm not back by 7 o'clock. So she's keeping a tab on me. But it turns out she's from the town that I went to college in. And she looks a little bit like a girlfriend I had. She's not, but she looked like a girlfriend that I had when I was in college. Fiery Irish lassie, red-haired. She was a freshman and I was a junior. Very nice girl, very, very nice girl who had the genuine misfortune of having me darken her doorway for 9 months. But as I was laying in bed thinking about her last night, I was thinking, good Lord, it's been 50 years since I dated her. 50 years. And that started the whole dialogue again of, what the heck is wrong with you that at the age of 71 you think that you can take on the Grand Canyon. This is a time when you should be dialing things back, not dialing them up. So this hike will be a good reinforcement for me that I still have the stamina and the wherewithal. But boy, 50 years ago, that's that's a lifetime, that's for sure. Boy, I will be glad when I get off this section of the trail. You can see how dense the forest is, and it comes right down to the edge of the trail. I should be out of this in a half a mile, but this section of the trail really puts me on high alert. And this is our first view of the mountain pass. If you look at the mountain directly in front of us and start moving down to the left, at about that area where the mountain and the hillside in the foreground meet, back up that area about a mile is where the pass is. Some incredible vistas up here. I did not know that this was up here, but there's a beautiful Alpine Lake I just found, right next to the trail. This must be a glacial cirque that I'm in here. And so, there's the pass right in front of me. About a half a mile away. Should make it in about 20 minutes. It's taken me almost 5 hours to get up here. But that's with filming stops and taking a short break to eat, things like that. But that's the top. I apologize for the wind. Well, today's epilogue is going to be fairly short. We had a tremendous thunderstorm hit last night around 11 o'clock, lasted an hour and a half. Just got pounded by quarter-size hail. And this morning it's 40 degrees. I was able to alter the course on the hike yesterday and change the length to about 18 miles. And actually about 18 and a half miles. So I did it in about 10 hours. And I'm happy to report that no blisters. And the sock burn was minimal yesterday. So overall, I'm considering the yesterday's training hike a success. It was a little bit challenging because the 8 of the miles that I did yesterday were between 8,000 and 9,000 feet. And boy, the air gets pretty thin up there. And I was carrying a 20-pound pack. And it was a lot of work to get up to the summit. I didn't bother to take any video up on the summit. I'm just going to, as you saw, I just went with photographs because the wind was blowing in at like 50 miles an hour up there. The noise would have been so bad you wouldn't have been able to hear me speak anyway. The other interesting thing about the hike yesterday is that I was all prepared. I had my knife yesterday, and I had my 2 bottles of bear spray with me yesterday, and I had my bear bells with me yesterday, and I had my horn with me yesterday, and I did not see a single bear the entire hike yesterday, which I'm happy for, I'm thankful for. But there was a lot of mud on the trail yesterday because I've been getting a lot of rain up here over the last 10 days. Finally, the drought has broken, at least in Yellowstone. Boy, we had a tremendous thunderstorm last night. It hail for about an hour and a half, quarter-sized hail. But was able to get through some muddy areas yesterday, and there were no sign of any fresh bear tracks. There was no bear scat on the trail. There were no fresh rippings of logs anywhere near the trail, so it looks like the bear have finally moved up into the higher elevations. And, I'm glad I didn't run into any bear this time. So that was the hike, and I intend to do one more training hike the day after tomorrow. I'll take film of it. And that hike, I think, is probably going to be to a place called Hell Roaring Creek. And very beautiful area. The only problem that I have, and it looks like the rain really cleaned out the air last night, but man, did it get smoky by the afternoon. It was just, the sun's light was probably cut down by 70%. There was so much smoke in the air. So we'll see. If it stays clear, I'll take a lot of video and do the hike and get one more training hike before I wrap up my season in Yellowstone.